Hi, hello. My name is Rita Eagle, and I wrote this book called Sniffy the Beagle, and a man named Jerry Rasmussen did the pictures for it. And I just want to tell you a little bit about a beagle. A beagle is a special kind of dog. It's a hound dog, and they are known for something very special, which is their nose. They can smell things better than any other dog. Sometimes it gets them into trouble, and sometimes it's a great thing. So let's find out what happens with Sniffy with his very special nose. Here's Sniffy. Sniffy is a beagle hound. He always has his nose to the ground. Other dogs walk with their heads up high. Sniffy's eyes never see the sky, because beagles like to sniff the ground. That's what you do if you are a hound. Sniffy won't play with others or fetch for a ball. He won't play at Frisbee. He won't play at all. He just stays by himself, nose close to the ground. He has business to do. There is food to be found. Sniffy was Tommy's dog, but Tommy was sad. Sniffy wasn't the dog Tommy wanted to have. Tommy wanted a dog that held his head high, a dog that caught Frisbees from up in the sky. He wanted a dog that would fetch and play, not a dog that kept sniffing and sniffing all day. Look, there he is, just sniffing away. Look how miserable Tommy feels about that. I don't like my dog, Tommy told his mom one day. He makes me feel mad because he never will play. And I never asked for a sniffing hound. And I don't want a dog with his nose to the ground. But you love Sniff, said Mom when he was a pup. Can't you love him a little now that he's grown up? He's just a little hound, you know. Sniffing is what he's meant to do. He's just a little beagle doing what he's got to do. And Tommy sighed, yeah, okay, I guess. Because he knew his mother usually knew best, but he still didn't want, he had to confess, a dog so different from all of the rest, like those over there running and jumping and catching Frisbees. Poor Sniffy. He also felt sad. He didn't understand why Tommy was mad. He loved little Tommy, and it made him feel bad that Tommy didn't like the dog that he had. Then, one morning, in the newspaper classifieds, Tommy read an ad that would change both their lives. Here's what the ad said. Wanted, a sniffing hound, one who knows with his nose where food can be found. We need such a dog to help us fight crime. If you have such a dog, please call anytime for an interview with Officer Sam Moriarty, Chief Canine Trainer at the Airport Authority. Oh, Tommy was excited. He jumped up from his seat. He had to do this. This really was neat. Sniffy's nose was amazing. Tommy had to admit, you could never hide food. Sniffy'd always find it. Hey, Mom, he said, please look at this. Can we do it? Can Sniff go to the airport to be interviewed for it? Mommy's looking. The next day they were off to the airport bound. Tommy, Dad and Mommy, and Sniffy the hound. And Tommy was excited. On that special day, he hugged Sniffy tightly all of the way. At the airport, the officer kindly explained how Sniffy could help to keep bad things off planes. Dogs like Sniffy, he said, can tell the police if something that's bad is inside a valise. A valise is like a suitcase. And this they can do because they smell so well. They smell things that nobody else can smell. In fact, they smell 400 times better than us. for smelling your Sniffy is a real genius. Really smart. But what are the bad things? Tommy asked Sam to tell. What are the bad things that dogs need to smell? Guns and bombs, said Sam, especially these, but also meat and plants and fruit from trees. Here's the meat, plants, and food. Meat, plants, and fruits, Tommy exclaimed. They do no harm. Why keep them off the plains? Because they just might bring germs. We have to inspect them. We need special dogs to help us detect them. And the very best dog in the world for this, the very best detector is a beagle like Sniff. Oh, he's looking really happy about this. Sniffy had been listening. This job was a dream. He wanted to be part of the canine team. These are the dogs. All of these guys do the sniffing. So Tommy took Sniffy to training school, detector training school, to learn 4 detector rules. Rule number 1, sniff at the luggage. Then if you smell meat or a plant, it is your job to tell. Rule number 2, sit by the suitcase, the one that you chose. And rule number 3, very important, put your paw on the suitcase. And then 4, point with your nose. Remember those 4 rules. He has to have his paw on the suitcase, and then he has to point with his nose. Sniffy sniffed, sat, and pointed, and put out his paw. He loved his new job, upholding the law. His uniform was green, and he wore it with pride. I'm working, it said, in words on the side. Then, one busy morning, as Sniff did his job, sniffing and pointing for his handler, Rob, Sniffy saw something that Rob did not see. A suitcase being put on a luggage dolly, and though that suitcase had not been spied, Sniffy could smell there was meat inside. That red one was the bad suitcase. The policeman was just busy talking and he didn't notice it. The dolly moved fast. It was soon out of the room. Sniffy had to do something. There was no time to lose. So he, as hard as he could, he pulled on his leash, and he pulled till his leash was released. And then, all through the airport, Sniffy did race until he caught up with that smelly suitcase. The man who ran the conveyor belt was loading the bag that Sniffy had smelled. Sniffy quickly jumped on and landed beside it. And then he saw the big hole. Look at that, big hole. And he was going inside it. Sniffy was so frightened. It was so dark. He could not even let out a bark. Still, he remembered to put out his paw and place it on the bag to uphold the law. And though he was trembling, it was very, very cold. He stayed with that bag deep in the plane's hold. See that? Until the plane landed and the luggage released, to the passengers waiting and the airport police. Everyone is sitting and waiting, and what a sight they then saw. All the bags are coming out. We're looking for the red one, remember? When the red one comes, here it is. Confused and exhausted, his uniform in rags, a brave little beagle sat amidst all the bags. And everyone cheered the moment they saw he was guarding the bag with an outstretched paw. Good for him. The police took the bag, then arrested the man who was bringing bad meat into this land. And then they sent Sniffy home in a first-class seat with a warm drink and a blanket and good food to eat. And then, before family and friends, the chief airport inspector gave Sniffy a medal for best ever detector. And there's Tommy watching that, because that's pretty special to get a special medal like that. And Sniffy knew when he heard the applause, he was a hero for being just who he was. And so did Tommy know that. The moral of the story is clear. There's something in each of us to be held dear. We are all God's children, and according to the plan, there's something special in every man and woman and child and animal too. There is something of value in each of you. From Sniffy, Tommy learned a lot. It's what you are that really counts, and not what you're not. So he could see that even though Sniffy didn't catch Frisbees, that's what he really was, a beagle who really was great at sniffing and doing a good job and getting a medal for being such a good dog. I hope you like Sniffy. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, Coopy, this is a real live beagle. His name is Cooper. He's just like Sniffy. He likes to sniff, right? He likes his picture to be taken too. Cooper, look at it. Say hello to all the children. Say hi. This is Cooper.